This is Günter Wetzel, a guy with a happy family that is trying to flee Germany in the hardest way possible. However, in the next 10 seconds, the police can arrest and execute them all. This is the story of the East Germany escape. September 16, 1979. Midnight. The border between East and West Germany is a death trap. In the years between 1949 and 1961, about 2.5 million East Germans had fled from East to West Germany to find freedom. In response, East Germany built a barrier to close off East Germans' access to West Berlin and hence West Germany. The stasis covered every square meter of Germany, so that it maintained state authority, in this case the SED. Escape is nearly impossible. The lucky ones get arrested, the unlucky ones get shot. Tunnels had been filled in, border crossings fortified, every weakness being accounted for. But tonight, a small group of East Germans is willing to bet everything. Hidden in the blackness of a dense forest, 2 families, 8 people in total, place a homemade hot air balloon. It is crude, stitched together from scraps of canvas, bed sheets, and dress fabric. It seems held with little more than household glue and blind faith. If this works, they will be free forever. If it fails, they will vanish, swallowed by the unforgiving state. A gust of wind shudders through the trees. Peter Strelzik tightens his grip on the fuel hose, eyes locked on the propane burner. There can be no hesitation now. With a twist of his wrist, the flame comes to life. The balloon inflates by every minute. The clock is ticking. There was nothing like this scene before, but it was their only way out. Chapter 2: The Impossible Plan. Every street has ears. Every neighbor is a potential informant. But Peter and his friend Günter Wetzel refuse to accept a lifetime of gray communist conformity. They want their children to know freedom. And so, in absolute secrecy, they begin designing an escape unlike anything attempted before. A balloon capable of carrying 8 people needed over 1,200 square meters of lightweight, heat-resistant fabric. They needed ripstop nylon or taffeta, thin but strong enough to be able to endure extreme temperatures. But East Germany didn't sell these fabrics in bulk. Buying too much at once would raise suspicion and make the Stasi more aware. They acquired it in pieces, purchasing scraps from different stores, recycling old fabric, stitching them together by hand, pretending they were making tents, sometimes even costumes. Their plan was radical. In a matter of minutes, they could fall and never reach the other side of the world. The stakes were high. Any weak point could produce a disaster mid-flight. Every joint had to be airtight, reinforced with double stitching, and heat-sealed to prevent air from escaping. A single tear would cause an uncontrolled descent, turning their escape into a death sentence. The burner was another challenge. Propane burns at nearly 1,980 degrees Celsius, hot enough to keep the air warm, but also hot enough to set the entire balloon ablaze. They needed a controlled flame, strong enough to maintain lift, but not so intense that it scorched the fabric. They modified propane tanks, rigging a burner system that could heat the air without overwhelming the fragile material above. Any engineer would find this being extremely hard for a beginner in this field. But their faith never died. Days passed. The balloon started to look more and more promising. Their 2 tests failed miserably. But there's no room left for failure. Just calculations, faith, and desperation. Then, on a moonless night in July, they launch. For a few minutes, they taste the impossible success. The balloon rises, carrying them toward the border. They already feel freedom. West Germany is closer than it has ever been. But after a few minutes of freedom, the balloon rips. In a matter of seconds, it begins to sink. A brutal crash into the forest, 180 meters from the border. Sirens in the distance. They know that if they get caught, there's no going back. Somehow, miraculously, they escape undetected. But the government finds the wreckage. Suddenly, the race isn't just for freedom. It's for living another day. Chapter 3. No Way Back. The Stasi, East Germany's feared secret police, descend upon the crash site with extreme caution. This isn't just an escape attempt, it's a direct insult to the state. They analyze the wreckage, studying the stitching, the materials, the beginner but ingenious engineering. Someone in the region built this, and they will find out who. On 14th August, the Stasi launched an appeal to find the perpetrator of a serious offense, listing in detail all the items recovered at the landing site. For now, the Stasis know what they are dealing with, and they won't let that slide. Back in their homes, Peter and Günther listen to the news reports with quiet dread. The Stasi is searching. The net is tightening. They are running out of time. They need to escape. So, out of desperation, they build another balloon. This time, they go bigger, stronger fabric, double the size, a more powerful burner. They work at a breakneck pace just to escape the communist country. They know that if they were seen, in any minute, the police can show up at their door and lock them forever. The balloon must be completed before the authorities put the pieces together. By September, it is ready. There are no second thoughts. No delays. Chapter 4. The Last 24 Hours. Under the cover of darkness, the families load the disassembled balloon, burner, and propane tanks into their vehicles. Each movement is calculated to avoid arousing suspicion from neighbors or potential informants. They arrive at the new launch site, close to the border. The area is eerily silent, save for the distant sounds of border patrols. The families work swiftly yet cautiously to unload and assemble the balloon. In the dead of night, they drag their creation to a clearing. The children are silent, drilled to obey. The adults work in synchrony, a well-rehearsed operation. The burner ignites. The balloon strains against the ropes, eager for the sky. The tethering ropes are released. The balloon rises, faster than before. The forest shrinks beneath them. The wind carries them northwest, toward the border, toward freedom. Then they figure out that because of a design miscalculation, the burner's stovepipe is too long, causing the flame to be too high in the balloon, creating excessive pressure which caused the balloon to split. The air rushing out of the split extinguished the burner flame. Is this the end for them? Wetzel was able to relight the flame with a match and had to do so several more times. Now, at an altitude of 8,000 feet, the temperature plummets to -8 degrees Celsius. Below, in the distance, headlights slash through the darkness. A patrol jeep. Too far to see them, but what about the sound? The burner hisses loudly with each burst of flame. A soldier looks up, squinting into the blackness. Did he see something? They don't wait to find out. The tear in the balloon meant the group had to use the burner much more often, greatly limiting the distance it could travel. The night air is freezing at over 8,000 feet. The families huddle together, breath misting in the dim glow of the burner. The silence is suffocating, broken only by the occasional hiss of the flame. Minutes stretch into eternity. Then, below them, they see a break in the darkness. A road. There are no guard towers, not even patrols. But where are they? East or west? Chapter 5. Welcome to Bavaria. Peter grabs his flashlight. If they've miscalculated, they'll land back in East Germany where soldiers are waiting. There will be no escape this time. His heart pounds. He switches on the light, swings it in slow arcs, hoping, praying. A car on the road below flashes its headlights in response, 2 times. It's the West German signal. They made it. The balloon drifts lower, brushing against the treetops before crashing into a field. Everyone scrambles out, breathless, hearts hammering. In the distance, they see figures running toward them. Flashlights, uniforms.
We made it. We made it.
Their journey is over. The families embrace, overcome with emotion. But as they look back at the dark horizon behind them, they know there are millions still trapped, and not everyone will be so lucky.